are set for some football here in Death Valley. I guess we can call it evening, can't we, since it's a 5 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah. Weatherman kind of crossed things up, though. We have pretty nice conditions for this game tonight. Of course, with expected temperatures around 80, 85, but we're closer to 70 degrees right now.
I tell you what, for early September, I think that every football fan would take this. Bobby Lamb in his second season now with the Furman Paladins. You see his record. You know, this is a guy, a long history here with this Furman football team, going all the way to when he was a starting quarterback, of course, at Furman. Longtime assistant coach and now running the show.
Tommy Bowden, of course, hails from West Virginia University, and that's the same school that I attended. It dates me a little bit. I can remember when he was playing high school football. His dad, Bobby, was the head coach at West Virginia, and of course, he's trying to get this Clemson program on track.
Was that back in the days when they were hanging Bobby in effigy there in Morgantown?
Yeah, they did that one last time before he left town. Your weather today, the temperature right around 75 degrees. Humidity is at 60%. The wind's not really a factor, and we expect partly sunny skies throughout the evening and on. As you see the series between the Paladins and Clemson, 27 straight wins for Clemson over Furman. The last meeting between these two came back in 1998. Clemson had its way 33-0 for the Paladins.
Furman has not scored a touchdown against Clemson, Chuck, since 1961.
Chad Dean will have the honors kicking it off. Dean kicked one through the end zone last week against the University of Georgia. You see him, number 7. And deep for the Furman Paladins is a man who has returned 3 kickoffs for a touchdown, Brian Bratton. Bratton will field it 5 yards deep. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, where it will be first down, 10 yards to go for Furman. You see the O-line for Furman: Bainbridge, Dyson, Stewart, who's starting in place of the injured Patrick Martin, Covington, and Lagas. Henley Brigham starts at the tail. Al Means is a fullback. Brian Stone and Brian Bratton are the flankers. John Rust is the tight end. The quarterback is Bo Moore, 6'1", 187, a junior from Madison, Georgia. He was 15 for 26 last week. Went for over 200 yards. His first collegiate start, threw for a couple of touchdowns. So Clemson on defense looking to set the tone early. They vastly outsized the Furman Paladins along the defensive line. Handoff goes to Al Means, and he is tackled immediately by Khalid Vaughn. The defensive line, we just talked about it, huge. 3 of them are graduate students: Vaughn, Washington, Polk, and J.J. Howard. Linebackers, they're good ones: John Leak, Leroy Hill, who led last week with 16 tackles. And your cornerbacks, Ty Hill and Justin Miller. Travis Pugh is the free safety. And Eric Sampson getting the start at the whip linebacker spot. Second down, 9 yards to go. And here's Bratton as he floats outside, gets knocked out of bounds by Travis Pugh at about the 34-yard line. So a little inside reverse, and Furman gets something going early against Clemson.
Good design play there, Chuck. They bring Bratton in motion. He gets up ahead of steam. They just pitch it out to him, coming over that right side. Great blocking out in front for a big pickup on the play.
That got the Furman Paladins about 12 yards. So first down 10 for Furman. We're just underway here from Death Valley. And the handoff going to the fullback once again, Al Means. He doesn't get much in the middle. Big Donnell Washington, 6'6", 320 pounds, a junior from Beaufort, South Carolina, makes a stop.
And Tommy Bowden is expecting that young man to increase his level of play. He says if this Clemson defense is going to be good, that front 4 has to be almost unmovable, and Tommy Bowden needs Donnell Washington to play well.
Furman trying to set the tone early. A couple of fullback dive plays have gone for little or nothing. They run a double slot offense. That's something we haven't seen much of this season. Moore flushed out of the pocket, fires to the near side at the 41-yard line. Brian Stone is knocked out of bounds by Toure Francis, a left side corner. So Bo Moore shows his speed and buys himself a little time and allows his completion.
Watch this. Moore's going to be under some pressure, but watch Stone. Stone with a nice job of getting away from the defensive backs and making some positive yardage.
So it's third down and 3 yards to go.
Stone last week, of course, against Elon. Chuck had a big day, as you see his numbers.
He also had a touchdown rushing. Toss sweep going to Bratton once again. There we go. Oh. He gets hit at the 44-yard line and stood up by Teray Francis and Travis Pugh. He's got to be close to the first down. To watch it again, he got hammered. And again, it's that little inside reverse.
Well, it worked well for the first time, so why not come back to it until they can stop it? But Pugh just really with a big stick with a little help from Hill. But I think it's going to be enough for the first down, Chuck. From our vantage point, I'm going to say that he got it by about the nose of the football.
Furman, no stranger to playing 1A teams and coming away victorious. They have defeated NC State twice. They defeated South Carolina. They defeated Georgia Tech back in the 80s. And in 1999, they knocked off North Carolina 28-3 in Chapel Hill. Boy, you got great eyes. By a football and a half. It's first down, Furman. Coach Bobby Lamb wanted to establish some ball control early, and they moved the sticks twice here.
Well, you talk about the success that Furman has had against 1A opponents. We talked about that North Carolina game, that 28-3 game, Chuck, and that game wasn't even that close. They went to Chapel Hill and thoroughly dominated the Tar Heels.
Well, Julius Peppers playing tight, or rather defensive end. There's a handoff going to Henley Brigham as he gets a couple of yards. Leroy Hill on the stop. They'll mark it at the 46-yard line. Gain of 2. It's going to be second down and 8. Tommy Bowden looking on.
Yeah, there's a series note we were talking about. This Furman club has not scored a touchdown against the Tigers since 1961. You got to go all the way back to 36, the last time that Furman actually beat the Clemson Tigers. That was by a 12-0 score and in snow, no doubt.
That was on Halloween, I believe. A little play action. Bowmore, keeper at the 40, at the 35. Bowmore pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So a nice pickup, an option play, and we have a flag down. Jamal Fudge, the rover back, came over to make the play on Bowmore, but they're going to bring this one back.
Holding is going to be the call against the Paladins. But I tell you what, if you're Tommy Bowden on that Clemson sideline, even though that play is coming back, Chuck, you're not happy to see that at all, as we'll listen to the call.
During the run, holding, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Furman already has come out here, Chuck, and in this first offensive series, they've established some offensive momentum. We talked about it in the pregame about controlling the clock, and that is what Bobby Lamb and his staff so far, his offensive staff, have been able to come out here and do. Control a little bit of the clock, keep moving those first down stakes.
Well, a 10-yard walk-off makes it second down and 11. The ball still at the Furman 43-yard line. Bowmore, a junior, has been around the program for a couple of years. Did not use a redshirt year. A throw across his body and a diving catch near the 50-yard line by Grant Brigham, the Vanderbilt transfer from Birmingham, Alabama. He's covered by Justin Miller. Watch it again.
And again, not a big pickup, Chuck, but a pickup of 5, and a nice job by Moore with some pressure under him. And then just a fine catch out there on the outside. Justin Miller, the All-American defensive back for the Tigers, there on the coverage.
So 3rd and 5 for Furman. Paladins 1-0 after their victory over Elon a week ago at Paladin Stadium. Handoff gone to Al Means. He's going to get about 2, not nearly enough for the first down, though, as J.J. Howard combines with John Leake to stop Al Means.
And our first decision facing Bobby Lamb here on 4th down, relatively short, 4th and about 2. Looks like he's going to leave his offense out there and go for this.
Well, one thing that Lamb has done with Bowmore, he was a punter last year, and they'll run him out of the shotgun. And see, now Clemson's a man short on defense. They can run something here with Moore, or he can quick kick it as he does. And he's going to knock it out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Good call there. Man that knows a little bit about the program, letting us know. But that's a good situation. You pin Clemson back inside their own 20-yard line. They'll have to start their first offensive series of the night at their own 15-yard line.
And see, the next time that happens, that makes Clemson think about it a little bit.
Absolutely. A 33-yard punt, but it's really not the yardage that you're concerned with there, Chuck. It's just making sure you pin them back.
William Henry, Cedric Johnson, Tommy Sharp, Nathan Bennett, Gregory Walker, the starting offensive line for Clemson. As Charlie Whitehurst gets set to go at the 15-yard line. Play action. Whitehurst throws underneath, passes complete to Kevin Youngblood. And he gets knocked down at about the 24-yard line by Shelton Riley, getting his first start tonight. You see the numbers for Charlie Whitehurst a week ago. 9 for 33 against Georgia for 151 yards. That one interception was a big one.
Sure was. He completed 13 of his first 15 passes against the Georgia Bulldogs. So you can see by looking at those numbers, he had a tough second half of the ball game.
David Pollock intercepted that pass at the line of scrimmage and rumbled. There's a handoff going this time to Dwayne Coleman. He finds some running room, crosses the 30 out to about the 34-yard line, where he's tackled by Keith Johnson, the right side cornerback. Defensively, Furman goes with Jones, Porter, Barant, and Poole as their down linemen. Keto Whetstone, Mike Killian, Cedric Ritter, a veteran linebacking crew. T.J. Wilson, Keith Johnson, the corners. Shelton Riley getting his first start, along with Southern Conference Player of the Week Cam Newton at free safety. He's a good one too. First down 10 for Clemson at the 34. There's Youngblood once again, and he gets racked out of bounds at the 42-yard line by Cedric Ritter and Keith Johnson. Kevin Youngblood caught 3 balls last week, but really didn't have what you call an excellent game. 6'5", 215. He's already graduated from Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, you saw the 3 catches for 24 yards. We already talked about this. 19 completions last week for Charlie Whitehurst and only 151 yards. A lot of talk this week of whether we'll see Clemson try to throw downfield more in this ball game.
Second down and 3 yards to go for the Tigers. And a sprint draw going to Coleman once again. He picks up the first down at the 46-yard line, tackled by Keto Whetstone, the strong side linebacker for Furman, wearing number 21. Watch it again.
Well, nothing fancy here, Chuck. They're just going to run inside between the tackles. Little delayed draw. Coleman doing a nice job of picking the hole and getting enough for the first down.
It was huge offensive linemen pushing Furman back that time. You see the numbers on Dwayne Coleman last week. He was the leading rusher. And that's not what Tommy Bowden wanted to establish coming into that game.
Not at all.
Here's Whitehurst out of the shotgun, and they give the ball off to Coleman. He's in trouble, and down he goes at the 38-yard line. Michael Barant, the nose guard, smelled that one out. Big number 90 for Furman, was able to tackle Coleman back at the 38-yard line. Watch the penetration here.
Let's see what if Barant has just let. See, they just let him go, Chuck. No one blocked him. A misassignment there by the Tigers.
So it's going to be second down now and 18 yards to go. Whitehurst with 2 wide to the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. There's a quick pass over the middle. The tight end catches the ball. Bobby Williamson, 6'3", 250 pounds, a sophomore from Tarpon Springs, Florida, is tackled by Daniel South. He's out there playing with a bad back this afternoon.
Well, again, it's a completion, Chuck, but it's only for short yardage. Just 1 catch last week for Bobby against the Georgia Bulldogs for 15. This one only picks up about 5. So now Clemson facing a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 12 situation.
Furman will go with their nickel package here. With Porter, Poole, and Travis Jones, a down lineman. And wide open is Youngblood. That was a blown coverage. Youngblood down at the 31-yard line. And that's his second. Make that his 3rd catch of the afternoon. He was wide open that time.
Well, that time Furman went to zone coverage here, Chuck, and we're going to see this coming right at us. You're going to see Youngblood coming right into this screen. Here comes the ball right into your living room. Nobody around Kevin Youngblood, and if Youngblood doesn't have to leave his feet and go after that, he may take that into the end zone.
Undoubtedly.
26-yard pickup on the play.
So Clemson in Furman territory for the first time this evening. Whitehurst Gets pressure, and here we go. He walks the tightrope, gets knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Keto Whetstone came over to make the play.
Tell you what, Chuck, Charlie, for a big kid at 6'3" and about 220 pounds, he can move the football with his feet when he has to. We saw it a couple of times last week against Georgia, and there he's under some pressure but able to roll away from it, use his feet, picks up positive yardage, about a pickup of about 8.
Second down, 2 yards to go. Mark it at the 22-yard line. This time they run twins to the left. And sprint draw on to Coleman once again. Dwayne Coleman gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. Michael Barat, the nose guard, combined with Roy Ravenel, the defensive end, to make the stop for Furman.
Well, just good team defense there on that play. Coleman, as he was coming through the hole, kind of shuffling his feet, stuttering a little bit, not hitting it quick. And Furman takes advantage of that. Makes a nice stop, 3rd and short.
Here comes a jumbo package for Clemson now as they have 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Chad Jasmine's in the lineup. He'll run at the tailback position, and we saw that when Clemson played Georgia a week ago. They run 2 tight ends with 1 wide out. And here's Jasmine. He has a 1st down and more as he takes it ahead to the 17-yard line. Cam Newton, free safety, had to make the stop along with Mike Killian.
Boy, and a good job by Harrell, the fullback, and also Cedric Johnson, the left guard. Chuck coming out and making a couple of good blocks in that play that allowed Jasmine the room to pick up the 1st down.
Jasmine was one of the top tailbacks in the country in high school out of Louisiana.
He's gotten into this Clemson program, and they've kind of shifted him around between tailback and fullback. He's made a home at fullback.
Dwayne Coleman is a lone setback now as a flanker screen goes to Youngblood. He makes another catch, takes it across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Keith Johnson, the right side cornerback, makes a stop for Furman.
That's already the 4th catch of the afternoon for Kevin Youngblood. He's going to be, I think, right around 49 yards in receiving so far. And it looks like too early on in this ball game that Whitehurst really going to be looking at Youngblood. Youngblood, a big receiver, you know, a guy that you expect to throw the ball a lot to, 6'5" and 215, plenty of strength.
He's a NFL prototype wide receiver now, in the mold of Randy Moss. 2nd down, about 7. Sprint draw on to Coleman. This time he finds a hole and takes it down to the 11-yard line where he's corralled by T.J. Wilson, the cornerback. Dwayne Coleman find a hole that time at left guard and got something going down the middle.
Looked like it was going to go for something, but again, the Furman defense there to shut it down. We'll watch the replay here. Coleman breaks through. You think, whoop, it's going to go for something. Then he starts going east-west instead of north-south, and that cost him.
And Shelton Riley had initial contact, really made the play on that one. So it's going to be 3rd down here and about 5 yards to go. Derek Hamilton and Tony Elliott are in the game at wideout right now. And Charlie Whitehurst will go from the shotgun with Dwayne Coleman. And the pass is caught at the 5-yard line by Youngblood once again. Kevin Youngblood.
Well, they're just matching him up outside with Riley. And Youngblood has the size on Riley. We'll watch the replay.
Keith Johnson is 5'10". And as you mentioned a moment ago, Youngblood is 6'5", so it's 1st down and goal at the 5-yard line.
Already the 5th catch of the afternoon for Youngblood, 54 yards. And that's here on this opening drive.
Chad Jasmine's in the game once again. He catches the toss sweep, headed for the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. Chad Jasmine on the toss sweep draws first blood for the Tigers. They score on their first possession, and it's Clemson 6, the Furman Paladins nothing.
Well, nothing fancy here. This is just smash mouth football, power football. Student body left. Jasmine finds a seam, cuts it up, breaks a couple of tackles, and takes it into the end zone.
A good lead block by the fullback, Cliff Harrell, once again getting the start today. Sophomore out of Tallahassee, Florida. Aaron Hunt knocks through the point after his first of the year, and Clemson has a 7-0 lead on the Furman Paladins here. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Chad Dean once again kicks it into the end zone. Brian Bratton fields it 5 yards deep, and it comes out as an automatic touchback. Jan Dean, the freshman out of Greenwood now. 3 kickoffs this season. All 3 have been in the end zone. None have been returned.
Well, that's been something that has been lacking under Tommy Bowden during his coaching tenure here at Clemson. But Jasmine, the man that got it done.
Toss sweep. Here's Brett. He is hemmed in on the sideline and gets knocked down by Justin Miller, who played that one nicely. Miller, preseason All-America, 5'11", 200 pounds, a sophomore from Owensboro, Kentucky, and what a fine football player he is. Catch an encore presentation of today's game on Wednesday at noon Eastern, and again at 7 p.m. only on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. No gain on that play. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Double slot formation for Furman once again. And here's the option play. Bo Moore gets hemmed up. And he gets knocked down by J.J. Howard, the defensive end. And we have a flag down.
Well, that was well played by J.J. Howard. You talk about J.J. Howard here at Clemson, Chuck. Potential has always been the word with him. And it seems like he's finally filling into shape the way that here in his last year at Clemson. Face mask, though. You saw the preliminary signal against the Tigers. Saw that last week by J.J. against Georgia. He made a fine play in the Georgia backfield.
Face mask. Defense. 5 yards from the previous spot.
Well, this one, unlike the one last week, is an inadvertent face mask call. So they'll mark off 5, and Furman will face 2nd down and about 5 yards to go. Bo Moore, a junior. He's from Madison, Georgia. 6'1", 187. Play action this time. And Moore gets tripped up back at the 15-yard line. Khalid Vaughn, the defensive end, knifed through there and just got enough of Bo Moore to knock him down.
Well, Vaughn had a sack last week against Georgia. He's coming off a season last year where he had 4 sacks, and that's just athleticism there. Just got a hand and tripped up more.
Justin Stepp is in the lineup now at wideout as Furman faces 3rd and long. And this is not what Bobby Lamb wanted, to face 3rd and long deep in your own territory after giving up that opening possession for Clemson, going for a long drive and a touchdown. Here's Moore going to throw the screen pass, and Henley Brigham gets knocked down at the 19-yard line by linebacker John Leak. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 11 yards to go for Furman.
Boy, I tell you what, Leak did a fine job of throwing the block of Andrew Thornburg off of him to make that open field tackle. Last week, you see the stats there on Leak. Leroy Hill was kind of the leader for Clemson last week defensively, but John Leak needs to be the leader of this Clemson defense.
You see Justin Miller. He'll return it. The punter is Jeremiah Vandora, backup quarterback. And he didn't get a lot of that one as William Freeman downs it. We'll take a break. Back after this. Clemson leading Furman 7-0 on CSS. We do have a by Vandora. A couple of runs by Jasmine. Gets the ball out to the 18-yard line. A Clemson 1st down. Here's pressure on Whitehurst. He gets sacked by Cedric Ritter back at the 13-yard line. Cedric Ritter blitzed that time from his weak side linebacker spot, as you get to watch it again here.
Good play here by Ritter. And you can see Whitehurst sees him coming, then tries to run away from him. That's not going to happen. That's a situation where the quarterback just needs to get rid of the football.
So a 6-yard loss makes it 2nd down and 16 yards to go. Furman's linebackers can run. They're very good athletically there. Kevin Youngblood, Derek Hamilton, the wideouts now. Whitehurst on the play action. Going to throw it underneath. That was almost picked off by Cam Newton, intended for the tight end, Bobby Williamson. If that was a better throw, I think Cam Newton comes up with that pick.
And I think that he takes it for 6 too, because there was nothing between he and the goal line but a lot of fresh Piedmont air.
3rd and 16.
Throw underneath.
See right there. He steps in front of that. I think he takes that in the end zone.
Morant goes out. Furman goes with its nickel package. Here's Daniel South comes into the lineup. Curry, Youngblood, and Elliott are the wideouts here. They go 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Whitehurst going to fire. Pass caught by They're going to rule it incomplete. Yeah, they're going to say trapped it out at the 32-yard line, so it's going to force a punt by Cole Chasen.
Youngblood had a couple of drops last week against Georgia, and he'll probably tell you after the ball game that was a ball he should have come up with as well.
Cole Chasen will punt from his own end zone. He's a freshman from the Atlanta area, from Roswell, Georgia, Greater Atlanta Christian. He's a low floater. And Furman's going to get pretty good field position out of this one as it rolls dead at the 47-yard line. Touchdown by Brian Carr. Check out the CSS website at www.css-sports.com for up-to-the-minute programming information. And don't forget to visit the Fan Zone for exciting contests and promotion. 40-yard punt that time for Chasen, who averaged 41.3 yards per punt last week against the University of Georgia. So Furman goes to work at his own 47-yard line. The Paladins trailing it here 14-0. Quarterback keeper Bo Moore will get bulldogged down at the 45-yard line of Clemson by Anthony Waters.
A little bit of the option. Little reverse pivot there by Moore coming out. They run it to the short side of the field. Good play. Picks up 8.
Didn't talk about it earlier, but that 72-yard punt by Jeremiah Van Dora really got Furman this great field position because they were able to hold.
Made up for that 11-yard punt that he had earlier in the game, that's for sure.
Brian Stone, Justin Stepp in the game at wideouts now as a motion Brian Bratton and handed off to Al Means. Means gets close to the first down as he is tackled by Trey Tate, the big defensive tackle, 6'4", 270, a sophomore from Gaffney, South Carolina.
Third and short situation here, not even really a yard. Looks like they may even bring out the chains here to measure this, Chuck, but this is the ideal situation for Bobby Lamb, I think. Because I think that no matter what, you're in 2-down territory here. You can run a little play action on this play if you want to. You can just pound it and try to get the first down. A lot of ways to make that Clemson defense be guessing.
Offensive line coach Clay Hendricks urging his troops on as Furman faces 3rd and short here. And a handoff going to Means. Means with forward progress may have the first down. Leroy Hill, the linebacker, knifed through to tackle Al Means, and he's getting up slowly. Means coming off a knee injury last season. He limps toward the sidelines, and the Clemson player, man who tackled him, getting up a little slowly too.
Means didn't get a very good spot there. I didn't think. They're going to bring out the chains again. I'm going to say I think that he's got it by about half the football. Or we'll wait to see what the chains.
Well, you have great eyes. You've already proven that you have excellent eyes.
Tell you what, that's what the old optometrist is for, so they can give you corrective lenses and you can see things.
You pay big bucks for those good eyes. By half a football, you're right on it again.
Thank you.
First down 10 Furman at the Clemson 42-yard line.
John Lovett, the defensive coordinator there for the Clemson Tigers, sending in the signals. And again, we've said this already. This Clemson defense, not a blitzing defense. They play a base package. I would expect them to. We'll see a lot of man-to-man on the outside tonight against Furman. That front 7 just play their roles, play their spots.
Bo Moore. Spread out. Going to drop back. Throw back to the weak side. The pass is dropped by Grant Brigham at the 28-yard line. Grant Brigham wide open. Drops the football, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
Well, that was a well-designed play too, Chuck. Moore comes out, rolls right, drags his receiver, going against the flow, and he is wide open, and it hits him in the worst possible place in his hands.
Can't throw it any better than that.
Nope.
2nd down 10, ball at the 43-yard line. Brigham, the transfer from Vanderbilt, heads for the sidelines. Vanderbilt playing Chattanooga today. They almost got Ole Miss last week in the Southeastern Conference game. There's Bo Moore looking for running room, and he gets cracked at the 39-yard line by Travis Pugh, the free safety.
Well, the only reason he got positive yardage on that play was because of the blocking of Patrick Covington. Covington threw a great block, and he held it, and that allowed Moore to read it, and then he cut inside and picked up the positive yardage.
So a big play here for Furman. It's 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Ball at the Clemson 39-yard line. Justin Stepp goes out of the lineup. Brian Stone and Grant Brigham are in at the wideouts. On the bottom of your screen, there's a quick pitch to Brigham as he runs back toward the weak side, drops the football, and it goes out of bounds about 2 yards shy of the first down. The tackle by Travis Pugh, and that was an unforced fumble. Brigham was just running and lost the handle on it.
It almost looked like he juked himself out. Let's watch right here. He's going to make a little move, and the ball just pops loose. Fortunate for Furman that it did go out of bounds.
It's going to be 4th down and 2.5. And the Paladins will go out of the shotgun here. Nope, they're going to send Bo Moore under center. Brian Stone, Bratton, and Stepp are the wideouts. And Moore, quarterback keeper, dances, picks up the first down and more as he gets down across the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Great play by Bo Moore, the option quarterback. He was dancing and got loose. Picks up a big first down for the Paladins.
Boy, and watch the footwork here by Moore. He keeps his feet moving. Little jump there, and then once he gets to the corner, he turns it upfield for big positive yardage. Nice play by the quarterback.
Eric Sampson, who had 8 tackles a week ago and won the starting position here this evening, makes the stop for the Clemson Tigers. Whip linebacker Eric Sampson. He started every game last year.
Was permanently, quote unquote, suspended from this team and came back. Now a starter.
Moore with a handoff to Brigham, and Brigham runs into a linebacker, John Leake, at the 21-yard line. So that play won't go for much, if anything at all. Yeah, they'll give him a yard. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. You get a good look at Leake as he comes off. 6'1", 240, a senior from Plano, Texas.
He was a late pickup for Tommy Bowden a couple of years back. They signed him. Matter of fact, he was the last player that was in that class. Came in here, and tell you what, the kid has been a good one.
Furman calls a timeout. We'll take a break. Clemson 14, Furman nothing. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Kick it off. Here's the pooch kick down low, and it's covered by Clemson at about the 36-yard line. Tyrone Lee came up to make the stop, as you get to watch the touchdown pass again by Bo Moore.
And look how wide open is Bratton. And that's all because of the play action. Fudge bit it. Bratton wide open. Last Furman player to score a touchdown against Clemson.
Billy Canty back in 1961. I think he's retired now. Does he live in the retirement home?
That's
close.
42 years ago. So
Whitehurst going to throw. Pass is complete to Derek Hamilton, who caught 5 a week ago against the Georgia Bulldogs. It's out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 13 yards and a first down for Clemson. Left side corner T.J. Wilson makes the stop. Tiger fans, get the inside news on your favorite team each week on the Tommy Bowden Show. Catch it every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Kyle Browning is in the game at tailback now. The little guy, 5'7", 180. Sophomore from Union, South Carolina, and he can fly. Gets a football running up the middle. Gets a yard or two into Furman territory at the 48-yard line. Mike Killian and Cedric Ritter, the linebackers, combine on the stop for Furman.
Well, Furman here now with a chance, Chuck, if they can stop this Clemson offense, to get them the ball back. And then try to get something. You got some momentum now established offensively.
See the clock rolling with 6:42 left until halftime. 3 down linemen for the Paladins this time. 3-step drop. Quick pass is complete to Kelvin Grant. And he picks him up about 5 yards. Cedric Ritter Number 23 on the stop for Furman.
Roscoe Crosby not even here at this ball game today for the Clemson Tigers because of some family issues. So that means that Kelvin Grant moves up one rung on that ladder in the receiver list. Very highly recruited true freshman.
Chad Jasmine enters the game at wide out, rather at tailback. The fullback is Cliff Harrell. A good job blocking for Clemson this afternoon. And the handoff going to Jasmine. He got hammered at the line of scrimmage by Michael Barant. Barant is having a great first half. You see big number 90.
I tell you what, watch this hit. Jasmine with a head of steam, and then no sir. Whack.
Tommy Sharp tried to block Barant, but Barant played it perfectly.
Tommy Bowden not going for it here, Chuck. That's a little surprising. 4th and about 1.5 yards.
Cole Chasen to punt it away. Try to pin Furman deep in its own territory. Deep to receive is Justin Stepp. And this one will easily carry into the end zone. It will come out to the 20-yard line, and Furman will have it first down and 10 yards to go at their own 20.
And this is what I'm talking about, the decision by Tommy Bowden not to go for it. And you really only net 21 yards because of that decision with the punt going into the end zone. So Jason's got to do a better job of trying to get that ball inside the 20. And Furman now 80 yards away from tying this ball game up with 5:08 to go here in this first quarter. You take a look at things statistically, and really Clemson's kind of dominated things here. Give Furman a lot of credit for hanging in there. They haven't panicked. A 42-yard punt that time by Jason.
Brian Stone and Justin Stepp are the wideouts at the bottom of your screen as they run a double slot set and send Breton in motion. Here's the option play. Fumbles. The ball is picked up by J.J. Howard. Howard will go to the end zone. Touchdown Clemson, and that's exactly what Furman did not want to happen. Turnover on first down, and just as you mentioned a moment ago, Furman with a chance to tie things up. It goes to 20-7. J.J. Howard, 6'3", 245. The graduate has already picked up his diploma. Ball is on the ground. He's standing there, says thank you very much, and a nice convoy down the sidelines.
And really that pitch just a little bit behind Bratton, back on his left hip, but really a ball that he should come up with. J.J. Howard there to scoop it up.
Aaron Hunt with the point after. It's good with 4:58 remaining in the first half. You watch the pitch again. They're just a little behind him. And J.J. Howard, right place, right time.
Well, Howard, a big kid too, you know, a 248-pound frame, 4.4 speed. But J.J. bench press is better than 400 pounds. Like I said, a world of potential with this kid, but that's always been the word that has surrounded J.J. Howard during his tenure here at Clemson.
From UG, South Carolina. Now the fans with something a little more to smile about as their club goes up 2 touchdowns once again. Bobby Lamb conferring with Bo Moore on what went wrong. The last Clemson defensive touchdown came against Georgia in Athens last year. Bryant McNeil picked up a fumble and went 55 with it for a TD.
Statisticians make us look good.
Oh, they do. Undoubtedly. Brian Bratton, as you can imagine, frustrated with himself now as he stands at the goal line waiting to kick off from Jad Dean. Dean has been gold here today.
And not much wind here in Death Valley this evening, so he's kicked off 3, and all 3 have been into the end zone for touchbacks.
Boy, just an excellent evening for football weather-wise.
I tell you what, early September, who'd have thought this, huh?
Temperature right at 74 degrees. Dean going to send this one a little short. It's taken it to 7 by Bratton. There we go. Brian Bratton gets cracked at the 19, and and down he goes. A tackle by Buddy Williams, a backup cornerback.
So even when it's a returnable kick, Chuck, Furman still has to set up first down and 10 at their 20.
Paladins begin first and 10 at the 20-yard line.
13-yard kickoff return for Brian Bratton. That's the first return for Furman of the day, as we said earlier. Check out the numbers on Bo Moore. 5 of 8. 39 yards and the touchdown to Brian Bratton. And in the middle to Henley Brigham, the tailback. He doesn't get much. Maybe a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. Leroy Hill, another tackle, along with Trey Tate.
So far in today's ball game, when Furman's been running the football, the success has not come up the gut. Rather, it's been either with the misdirection going out to the corners, or just taking it and running a little option out on the corners, but not a whole lot there up the middle.
Bratton brings a play from the sidelines. He's in there along with Stone and Justin Stepp at the wide receiver positions, out of the shotgun. Moore going to throw the flanker screen, and it's complete to Henley Brigham. He slips down at the line of scrimmage. Going to be 3rd down and 11 for the Paladins.
If he doesn't lose his footing there, he's going to pick up about another 7 or 8 yards probably on that play. Just a bit of bad luck there for the Paladins.
Brings up 3rd and 11 for the Paladins.
3rd down, 11 yards to go. We're getting late here in the second quarter. Furman down by a couple of scores. Would like to keep this drive alive and maybe get something before halftime. Moore wants to run. And he gets down just in time after a 4-yard gain. Knocked down by Maurice Fountain, the defensive end from Camden, South Carolina. This is Bo Moore making something out of nothing, because there was great coverage that time in the secondary.
Moore scrambling, then looks up, sees Hill coming at him, and ducks underneath it. Wise decision for him to get down low. Clemson calls timeout here.
3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Tigers want to hang on to some of this clock and maybe make it a 3-score bulge by halftime. Furman, of course, looking to do the opposite. Bo Moore with 22 yards rushing on the day. Tommy Bowden calling the plays himself. Of course, had Rich Rodriguez doing that up until a couple of years ago when Rodriguez left for West Virginia. And Tommy has taken that chore over himself again.
And then last year, of course, after Rich left, take over the Mountaineer program, it was a kind of a combination of Brad Scott and Mike O'Kane, 2 former head coaches. Scott, of course, at South Carolina, O'Kane at NC State. But this year, a little bit more pressure on this Clemson program. And the buck kind of stops right there with Tommy Bowden. That's what he said. He wants to be more involved in the play calling. And so he's kind of taking over the reins.
29-21 in his tenure here at Clemson. 47-25 overall. He came here after 2 years as head coach with the Green Wave at Tulane. Jeremiah Van Dora is in the game. He'll punt it away for Furman.
Derek Hamilton, the deep man for the Tigers.
A little pressure. This is a floater. Comes down at the 39. Here's Hamilton. Gets back out to the 45. A punt return of 6 yards on the play. Glenn Smith, the snapper, came down to make the stop for Furman.
So often you see it's the snapper that does make the play downfield on a punt, just because simply the defense, now in the rule in college football, you can't hit him anymore because he has his head down in a vulnerable position. So a lot of times that's the man that's released to get downfield and cover kicks.
37-yard punt for Van Dora, and it's first down 10 at Clemson's own 45-yard line. Curry, Youngblood, Dwayne Coleman back in there at tailback. And he gets it on the sprint draw, running up the middle, and he gets knocked down at the 48. A gain of 3 yards on the play. Cam Newton, free safety, came up to make the play. Newton had a big week last week against Elon. 7 tackles, 1 interception. Was named Southern Conference Player of the Week on Monday.
Now, defense always has been one of the strong points with Furman. I mean, you can go back way back when, and they have always been good defensively.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Play action. And pass complete to the near sidelines. Curtis Bayham. And the sophomore from New Orleans hauls it in, knocked out of bounds by T.J. Wilson. Picks up the first down at the 43-yard line of Furman. Here it is again.
Well, Bayham knows where the stakes are. Nice job cradling it. Get out of bounds. Stop the clock after the first down.
Mark it at the 42.5-yard line. As you can see, the clock stopped with 2 minutes 22 seconds remaining in the first half. Again, the play action. Quick pass, and again, there's Bayham. Bayham still on his feet this time, does not get out of bounds, and a flag is down. At the 31-yard line, Bayham is tackled by T.J. Wilson once again. That's just a little route where he goes down about 8 yards, stops, and turns around. Too much cushion by T.J. Wilson. This penalty will go against Clemson.
Sure will, and I think that the guilty party is going to be the center, Tommy Sharp, for a little extracurricular after the play was over, or a clip.
There's a call.
During the run, personal foul, clipping, offense, 15 yards from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
Tell you what, that's a foolish penalty also by Sharp there. We'll take a look at the replay, see if we can pick it up. There's right there Sharp coming in from the left-hand side.
First and 15 for the Tigers, ball at the 48.
So the penalty.
That wasn't Sharp, though. That was,
I thought it was Bobby Williams.
Bobby Williamson, yeah. A couple of clips there, actually.
There's the flanker screen going to Hamilton, and he gets back to the 42-yard line where Daniel South makes a stop. Derek Hamilton.
Daniel South.
He's another one of those NFL prototype wide receivers, 6'4", 205. And he can do a little bit of everything.
Hamilton, I think, though, just battling a little bit of self-confidence coming into this season. And you wouldn't think that because he had a big year last year, but it just seems to me that mentally he's not on the same page that he was last year.
Second down and 9 yards to go. Whitehurst, play action, fires wide open this time. Youngblood, he takes it across the 30. On down to the 24-yard line. Keith Johnson made the tackle and lost his hat. Watch it again as Youngblood makes his 6th reception of the first half.
Yeah, he's been the go-to guy so far for the Clemson Tigers. Good job of just catching the ball and then making yards after the catch. You hear so much about that, but it is so important in the game of football. Youngblood able to pick up about 5 or 6 more after the catch. And there you see his number, 7 catches so far in the day.
I think I said 6. He caught 3 last week against Georgia. Handoff going to Coleman, finds a hole and takes it down to the 21-yard line on first down from the 25. So a 4-yard gain. Mike Killian, the middle linebacker, makes the tackle for Furman. We get timeout called by Clemson once again. With 65 ticks on the clock here in the first half. Chip Myrick enters a lineup at right guard, and Nathan Bennett will come out. Myrick's a good story. 6'4", 290. He's from the Lovett School in Atlanta, and he was kind of a walk-on and just worked his way up through the ranks.
Yeah, he's been a kid that has just come in here, worked hard. Like you said, not a whole lot of press about him coming in, but just a guy that has come in here, has done exactly what this coaching staff has asked him to do, and has worked his way up the ladder. Tommy Bowden, good look at him there. Talking about a 3rd and about 5 or 6 situation here and what he wants to do. Has one more timeout to work with and a minute 5 still to go here in this first half. Coming up at halftime, got a couple of guests that are going to be joining us here in the booth.
Furman basketball coach Larry Davis will drop by, as well as the venerable voice of the Tigers, Jim Phillips. We'll stop by. We'll chat with them a while.
Jim doing his 401st broadcast for the Clemson Tigers today.
In football.
It's amazing.
You count them all, though. He's probably over 1,000, 1,500 somewhere. Football, baseball, basketball. He's done some women's basketball along the way.
Been the voice of the Tigers, I think, since '68. 21-7. Clemson with a lead over Furman as we play here late
in the first half. Tigers will face second down and 5 yards to go.
In 2nd and 6 for the Tigers from the 21.
Maurice Curry and Kevin Youngblood in there at wideouts, along with Tony Elliott. They have one setback. That's Coleman. Quick 3-step drop pass is complete to Youngblood, his 8th catch of the day. That's down to the 15-yard line by a half yard. That's going to be good for a first down. Again, T.J. Wilson victimized. T.J. Wilson's 5'11". Kevin Youngblood is 6'5". So Whitehurst just throws it up there and let him come down with it.
Now, what are you going to do, though, if you're one of the defensive secondary guys for Furman? You know, you come up and play him tight, Youngblood's going to run by you, so you got to give him a little bit of cushion.
First down 10, and the ball is caught by one of the big offensive linemen. He fumbles a football, taken by Dwayne Coleman. He's gone to the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Think Tommy Bowden drew it up that way?
I don't think so. Boy, you're talking about one that's going to make the highlight reels.
Travis Jones batted it up in the air from his defensive end position when William Henry, the big tackle from Greenville High School, came down with it. There's Jones, there's Henry. Now all of a sudden he's a fullback, saying I could do this all along, but Coleman comes up with a friendly bounce. And for the second time to this afternoon, kind of a crazy play puts points on the board for Clemson. Point after by Aaron Hunt down the middle. And with 41 ticks on the clock, Clemson builds its lead over Furman 28-7. Watch it again.
Well, Coleman gets his first touchdown in a Clemson uniform, but not exactly the way you draw it up. Henry picks it off. There's delusions of grandeur there. He thinks he's going to rumble with it. Pops loose. Coleman Johnny on the spot.
Now the big hit on Henry by the linebackers Cedric Ritter and Roy Ravenel. But Furman couldn't get the right bounce.
Well, I tell you what, the Paladins kind of feel snake bit. The last 2 touchdowns by the Tigers have come in the most unorthodox way. Bobby Lamb, he's going to have 41 seconds to go still here in this first half, and he's going to go into that locker room at halftime kind of shaking his head and thinking, what if? They actually will credit Coleman with a 9-yard run for the touchdown on that play. And Clemson, though, I guess, Chuck, the thing of concern for Bobby Lamb is that they're going to go to the locker room with better than 250 yards of total offense.
But only 7 points to show for it. Bobby Lamb, as you said, can only shake his head. Furman down by 3 scores here as we head for the half. Jad Dean, the freshman from Greenwood, has it all teed up, ready to kick it off to Brian Bratton. This one's going to come in short as well as Bratton. That's one of the upbacks take it. That's Jeremy Blocker. He's also out of Greenwood. He gets knocked down at the 25-yard line by David Dunham, a backup fullback. So Furman will have first down, 10 yards to go at its own 25-yard line, and 65 yards from the end zone. Probably will not be going for the bundle here. They'd like to hold the score where it's at and try to regroup. Saying hopefully that oblong-shaped object out there called a football will bounce our way for a change. 6 of 9, Bo Moore on the afternoon for 38 yards. That carry by Lamar Rembert, a senior from Ocala, Florida, makes his first appearance.
That should do it for the first half.
2 crazy touchdowns for the Clemson Tigers. I thought last week against Georgia, Clemson got a few bad breaks, and that game could have been much closer than that 30-0 score would indicate. But ball didn't bounce Tigers' way last week. This week it does. We're at halftime here, where Clemson leads the Furman Paladins by a 28-7 score at Death Valley. As we said, coming up, we'll visit with voice of the Tigers, Jim Phillips, and also the Furman basketball coach, Larry Davis. That's coming up. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Back here at halftime, Clemson leading Furman by a score of 28-7. Don Munson along with the voice of the Clemson Tigers, Jim
Hello,
Phillips.
Don.
How are you, sir?
I haven't seen you since yesterday.
Well, let's talk first of all a little bit about this first half. A couple of crazy bounces go Clemson's way.
Oh, no question about it. And the craziest bounce of the day in my behalf, we were in a commercial on the 72-yard touchdown cast by Curry.
Well, let's talk for the first half for Tommy Bowden and what he wanted to see his team do. I think that he got some positives after last week's game against Georgia. At least they got 28 points on the board and some confidence.
Yeah, they've not run the football a lot, but they've shown that they're capable of it. And I think that's been able to open up the rest of the field for them. That's something they couldn't do at all last week.
Kevin Youngblood so far just having a monster game for the Tigers.
He's the type guy that can have a monster game. And, you know, he's long, he's lean, and he's quick.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your career here at Clemson. 401 football games behind the microphone for the Tigers.
You got what, 1, 2, 3, something like that?
I have 2.
2, okay. I guess Roger Berry has 1.
That's right.
So, well, you know, look, I'm happy I'm still here. I hope I can continue to be around long enough to see the Tigers get better. And they're starting to look like maybe they're getting better.
Now, tell me, when you first came down here in the late 60s, did you think that you would be doing this for this long here at Clemson University?
Well, I won't say that I didn't think that I would, but really it never entered my mind. It just began to multiply year after year after year. And I'm just very happy that I made the move to get here.
Well, Terry Don Phillips, of course, now the athletic director here at Clemson. Facilities, a major concern. We're seeing a lot of changes, not only here to Death Valley, but also the baseball stadium, the basketball facility. A lot of upgrades going on here at Clemson.
I kind of like that Phillips name in the athletic director's office, too. I told him, I said, Terry Don, that's a pretty good old Texas name. I said, from now on, you can just call me Jim Ed.
There you go. Well, where do you see this Clemson athletic department going under the guidance of Terry Don?
Well, I don't think there's any question, but they want to improve in all aspects. Of course, a great hire in basketball now, and baseball, as you indicated, has been very, very strong. Track and field is going great. All of the sports are going great, and I think that it can go nowhere but up. The biggest concern has been, over the last couple of years, football. And we'll find out just what direction they'll go there.
Well, coming up here in just a little bit, Chuck's going to be talking with Larry Davis, the head basketball coach at Furman. I know I got to talk with Oliver Purnell, the new head basketball coach here at Clemson earlier today. I'm telling you what, Clemson fans are in for a treat when they see what this guy's going to put on the court.
No question about it. And I envy you because Oliver's been on the move, and they had the press conference to hire him while I was doing a Clemson baseball game. So I think I've spoken to him maybe a grand total of 5 minutes.
Well, I probably have as long to visit with him as you have as well. We've talked a little baseball. Of course, Clemson and Furman played last year in baseball. The Paladins took 2 from Jack Leggett's ball club last year.
No question about it. Clemson, towards the end of the season, had a little bit of a run there where they couldn't beat teams that they were expected to win over. As a result, it cost them an opportunity to go back to the College World Series. They've lost a few players off that team as well who have moved on, transferred. So I think that it's going to be an interesting year in baseball. Right now, they're getting ready for fall practice, and going to have a big weekend in October with the golf tournament, and then a big game. They're going to invite a lot of the former players back, and it should be a lot of fun.
My friend, always good to see you. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
Jim Phillips, the play-by-play voice of the Clemson Tigers. We'll come back. Chuck Hushen will visit with head coach of the Furman basketball team, Larry Davis. Clemson here at halftime leading it 28-7 over Furman.
Welcome back to Death Valley. The Furman Paladins and Clemson Tigers going here, and right now Clemson getting the better of it, 28-7. And your thoughts on the first half, Don?
Well, so far I think it's been Clemson offensive execution. Now, granted, they've got a couple of good bounces that have resulted in 14 points, but better than 250 yards of offense so far in this first half for the Clemson Tigers, and that's something that they sorely needed coming into this ball game. Furman, though, not out of this thing. I mean, they are down 28-7, but you know Bobby Lamb, he's going to tell his team, hey, hang in there. There's been a couple of bad breaks that have gone against us in the first half. Maybe we can get those breaks in the second half to get this thing turned around.
I think the play of Charlie Whitehurst has been spectacular. He threw that nice long touchdown pass to Aries Curry. He's thrown the ball on the money all night long. His play action stuff has been great. He's done a super job.
Well, he has done a super job. One of the reasons, Kevin Youngblood, I mean, the big receiver has been just absolutely a top-notch performer so far for the Clemson Tigers here this evening.
That's really a matchup problem with Furman, as we mentioned during the half. Kevin Youngblood at 6'5", and the defensive backs for Furman at the corner about 5'8", 5'11". You know, he gives up a big size disadvantage, but you got to get pressure on the quarterback to make that work, and Furman's not doing that right now.
No, they're not doing that so far. So, I mean, what adjustments will they try to make at halftime? Do they try to go to a little bit more to a blitzing scheme, bring maybe a linebacker, somebody from the defensive secondary to get pressure on Whitehurst? One of the things that Clemson has been doing, it hasn't always been just a straight drop back pass. Sometimes they've been rolling Whitehurst out, trying to get him away from that defensive pressure.
We're at the break. It's 28-7 as Clemson leads Furman. We'll come back with basketball coach Larry Davis of Furman. That's coming up next on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.